Welcome. My metric number is 255,988. Today I'm going to start with the introduction part. In introduction part, I'm going to explain about the consumer production and marketing. Do you know what the meaning of consumer production? Consumer production is the final result of manufacturing process of a consumer product. Sometimes we call final good. Marketing is the study and management of a business process which include to satisfy the people's needs and wants. In business, normally the main aim is to maximize the profit. So, some business people just their focus only to make profit, but they didn't see to satisfy the people's need. So, they make a false promises and give not a very quality product to the customer, and they did not satisfy customer needs. So customer also buying the product by believing the fake promises. To related to this topic, we are going to learn furthermore by studying the case study. So in our assignment, we are going to study about the Becton Dickinson and needle stick of case study. The purpose of the case study is to analyze the ethical issues that arise throughout the case study. Throughout the assignment, we are going to explain about the ethical issues, the ideologies from the perspective of the society, business and government, and we are also going to use the four main principles, which is utilitarianism, rights, justice and caring as a tools to make our arguments more stronger. So, furthermore explanation, we are going to look other part that my friends are going to explain. Okay, in next part we are going to see the executive summary. Executive summary means to explain the summarization of the whole assignment. This assignment is mainly to discuss about the ethical issues and the morality of the case study. The case study that we use is the Becton Dickinson and the needle sticks. So, we as a team discuss and gather all the information that related to the question that arise from the case study. This case study is mainly is a medical line basis. The report is started with the introduction part. So in introduction part is just introduce the name of the case study and the tools that we use to make stronger the arguments. After the introduction part, we moving to the discussion part. In discussion part, we are using three questions that arise from the case study to analyze the ethical issues that arise throughout the case study. Every question that we answer, we include with the ethical basis and morality. After the discussion only, we found out that Becton Dickinson did not act ethically towards the stakeholder, and also it did not obey the law. From the discussion part, we moving to the recommendation part. In recommendation part, we recommend some solution from the view of the government and society to ensure this thing did not happen in the future, because this thing is the unethical action that may affect other people, not only the people who are involved in the action, also the people who are around them. Last but not least, in conclusion part, we just brief from the view of the society, business and government about these ethical issues. And also, we gather all the relevant information and observation. We came up with a small summarization that ethics and morality gives an understanding of a human behavior, decision making and consequences.
My name is Nusirani Binti Rajasmaya 256536. First, I will explain about the case summary. This case explores the ethics behind the needle stick and the business Becton Dickinson. Becton Dickinson is the world's largest manufacturer of medical supply and equipment that introduced only 3cc safety key syringes that are the surface of any manufacturer. In 2004, Becton Dickinson agreed to pay retractable into a small, innovative company that manufactures syringes. He paid $100 million in damage for a small manufacturer. The problem came early when Premier Innovation had withdrawn an undisclosed sum for damage incurred by a small company partnering with Becton. Premier Innovation is the two largest GPO that buys supplies for hospital and clinic. Therefore, three companies are blocking it from selling security needles to hospital and infecting workers with AIDS and other bloodborne diseases. During the last 2 decades of 20th century, safety needles have been an issue as the AIDS epidemic began and has caused a dilemma for health workers.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Karina Sayyidina Binti Zaman, my metric number 25607. So today I'll present question number 1 for the case of Becton Dickinson. So, question number 1, part A, I'll present part A. Okay, in your judgment, did Becton Dickinson have any obligation to provide a safety syringe in all its sizes in 1991? Okay, in my judgment, that Becton Dickinson does not have any obligation to provide safety syringe in all sizes. Okay, from that case, we know that Becton Dickinson only provides safety syringe in 3cc size only. So, but hospital use more 5cc and 10cc sizes for the syringe to treat patients. So from that, we know that why Becton Dickinson provide 3cc size only. Okay, we know that hospital use more 5cc and 10cc. So for the cost, 3cc size syringe only costs 13 to 20 cents per syringe to produce 3cc sizes. So if Becton Dickinson produce all sizes, the hospital will buy because they need the 5cc and 10cc sizes. And at that time, we know that from that case, at that time, Becton Dickinson the only company that produced safety syringe but in 3cc sizes. So if Becton Dickinson produce 5cc and 10cc syringe, it will means that the demand is higher than the supply. So we know that if Becton Dickinson put higher or medium price, hospital will buy because they need that syringe. So from that, we know that Becton Dickinson does not have any obligation to provide the safety syringe in all sizes because the profit that Becton Dickinson will get from selling the safety syringe will cover all the costs that Becton Dickinson have made. So from that, in my judgment, Becton Dickinson does not have any obligation to provide safety syringe in all sizes. So that's all for me. I will press my group mate to present part B for question 1. Thank you.
For the first is utilitarianism is a general term for the view that action and policies should be evaluated on the basis of the benefit and cost they will impose on society. So, in the Becton Dickinson case, it's not relevant about the utilitarianism because they only concerned about their interest, the cost of the production to produce safety syringe. Next is the right. Right is an entitlement that derives from a legal system that permits or empowers a person to act in specific way or that requires others to act in certain way toward the person. So in the Becton Dickinson case, we can take example about Dr. Janine Jagger agreed that healthcare workers in US need a whole new era of device in which safety is an integral part of the design. Besides, for the moral right, it can relate for the Madam Rockwood, the nurse that work at the hospital. She has right to work in the safety condition with safety instruction because she have diagnosed with HIV because he used the needle to draw blood from a patient not to be infected with AIDS. For the third is justice. Justice is a socialism that based on need and abilities. It's the same case about Mariam Rockwood, who diagnosed as HIV positive because she was accidentally prick her finger with the contaminated needle that have been used to draw blood from a patient not to be infected with AIDS. For the lastly is a carry. In this Becton Dickinson case, they does not have obligation to provide safety shrink in all size that are merely business relationship to gain profit in exchange for the product produced, unless they have valuable close relationship with the parties such as relative, friends and employees that dependent and related to the company.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Saidah binti Hasnan. My metric number is 253372. Now, I will continue the question number 2 of the case study. The question number 2 is, should the manufacturer be held liable for falling to the market or the product for which they hold exclusive patent when someone injuring would be avoided if they had marketed those products? Explain your answer. My answer is yes, they should be, because it's illegal and also the moral to do. Not all the manufacturers should take a responsible if they don't marketing the product that have exclusive patent. Whenever someone say like it will prevent injury if the manufacturer market the product. According to the Duke theory, manufacturers have the more advantageous position. Producers should take more extra care to the good or the product they have produced that not should be cause any effect to consumer because the consumer will depend on them. Becton Dickinson should take a suitable step to produce the product and make sure the product is not give any negative effect to the consumer by using it. For example, an ethical entrepreneur is generally they should be honest and a trustworthy person. One of the duty manufacturer in Duke theory is a product design. So, Becton Dickinson need to take a look the risk of the consumer use. When they design the design of the product should be minimize the risk and make sure the product is safe to consumer use. For example, Becton Dickinson should design the all syringes including 1cc, 3cc, 5cc and 10cc with protective sleeve. Why? Because Becton Dickinson not giving enough care to the product that they produce. So, according to the Grandsian, they say that to solve the problem, all the producer should take a moral principle and consistent to apply.
My name is Fatiha binti Fakuzi. My metric number 255542. Okay, I will continue with Saidah parts. Besides, production also one of the duties of the manufacturer due care theory. To reduce defect and risk, Becton Dickinson should use strict quality control. Becton Dickinson must ensure that the defect or risk are not added for material and manufacturers. Becton Dickinson must be responsible because Becton Dickinson only produce 3 singles and does not provide other side with protective glove. Other than that, marketing also one of the duties of the manufacturer in Duke theory. Becton Dickinson should provide consumers with safe information on using the product. He also warn against all things which pose a danger to consumers. To ensure consumer safety, Becton Dickinson should not market products to consumers so that potential risks can be avoided. Becton Dickinson violated the rules not to injure users or neglect unsafe safety lock string use-related matter. Okay, last, based on social cost view of the manufacturer duties theory, the view that manufacturers have to pay for the cost of each injury caused by product defects, even if the manufacturer is making every reasonable effort to design. The manufacturer and market it, and the injury is unpredictable. Becton Dickinson should be responsible for the needle stick causes in the case of the nurse. Mariam Rockwood, Becton Dickinson should take responsible for what's happened to the nurse and make smart decision to address the issue. So that was my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nabil bin Muhammad Pedri. My matric number is 252642. I will sit to question number 3, which is evaluate the ethics of Becton Dickinson use of the GPO system in the late of 1990s. Based on the case of the Becton Dickinson, they can be related to the due care theory. Due care theory is where the manufacturers are in a more advantageous position and the consumer must rely on them to take care, special care to them. In this situation, Becton Dickinson attempt to restrict its competitors, especially retractable, in the supply of the medical product, especially medical suites. The Becton Dickinson success in monopolizing the shrink markets by take advantage of the weakness of the GPO, which is premier and innovation. We that time GPOs are aimed to lower the cost of the hospital and clinics, but by taking this lack of the GPO, Becton Dickinson signed a long-term contract to make sure that all hospital related to the both GPO will be purchase their product instead of value its quality. And at the same time, because of this monopoly, the customer need to rely 100% on them to take care of their special care.
GPO is considered a monopoly as it includes a large number of hospitals and clinics. They are agents who negotiate price for medical supply on behalf of their hospital staff. GPO are monopolizing the market because they only offer Becton Dickinson product by signing exclusive deal with Premier Innovation. GPO choose manufacturer based on how manufacturers are willing to pay GPO if to become their member. They offer product only from Becton Dickinson because Becton give more money, which give a higher percentage of sale. So, if the higher percentage of sale is given, GPO are prepared to put the manufacturer on the list of manufacturers where their individual hospital need to buy their medical supply. They are unethical because they have been monopolizing the market by blocking other manufacturers, which is retractable technology, which many potential buyers are taking part in. They are more concerned mutually beneficial relationship in finance to focus on the safety of product offer to the market. This has led to the hospital workers' safety of risk. The GPO has reached the agreement and selected Becton Dickinson as the producer on the list of manufacturers whose individual hospitals should buy their medical supply. This is because Becton Dickinson have been paying a lot of money, which is give the higher percentage of sale to the GPO. As promised by the GPO, if producers are willing to pay more money, by the GPO as a manufacturer is willing to put in the list of manufacturers.
Now let's see about the conclusion part. In conclusion, we can sum up that Becton Dickinson did not act ethically towards the stakeholders, and from this, government sector and society take their action towards him. We are also using the perspective of the government, business and society to show that ethical issues are within in this case study. Considering the perspective of the government, the ethical issues are involved because of the responsibility of the government as to be both society and business. For the economic growth, a government doing their role by giving the platform for the business to allow them to experience the economic growth and protecting society from any problem caused by the business activities. So that if the government intervene enforcing the law, Becton Dickinson would not be in a situation where they would experience ideal economic growth. Let's move to see from the perspective of the society. Dickinson did not act socially in an effort to provide the most ideal equipment. The ethical dilemma presented here is that Dickinson did not utilize the stakeholder theory and instead only care about the making profit. In society, a choice must be made between ensuring nurses and buying new syringe. By doing so, they would break the legal understanding made with the GPO they bought equipment through, leaving themselves open to lawful activity and extreme financial consequences on effectively extended spending budget. Related with the business sector, actually Becton Dickinson has an ethical responsibility to take care the working conditions for who involved in their product. However, they fail to their responsibility. Becton Dickinson began to defending their poor choices by saying it's nurses' mistake and not their own. In general, the company has selected to pay $5 million as a compensation because of the unsatisfactory good. In a nutshell, the studies has proved that ethics and morality give an understanding of human behavior, decision making, and consequences. Every person must be aware of other people's action. This is because other people's action may harm the other. Therefore, from this situation, everybody must take as a lesson and make sure must act ethically in any situation. Because the unethical activities not only harm ourselves but also harm the other people who are surrounding us. And sometimes this also will affect our governments and economy